Have you ever wondered where these stereotypes of witches come from? The black hat, the warty nose, the cackling laugh, pointy shoes, broomsticks between their legs. We know this iconic cartoon and caricature of a witch, but where did it actually come from? Let's melt this stereotype down to its bones and see what lies beneath. Some historians trace it back to the medieval period, where there was a lot of propaganda from foreigners, specifically people of what we now consider from the Middle East and Jewish people. These people were often depicted in pointy hats during medieval Europe, and later this was used to stigmatize all outsiders. Others link it to the alewife, women who brewed beer within the Middle Ages. Alewives wore tall hats to stand out in the marketplace, and they would carry brooms to sweep their stalls. Eventually, the alewife was demonized. She was a symbol of independence, intoxication, and womanhood, all brewed into a stereotype. And brooms weren't always about flying. They were considered tools of domesticity. When witches in folklore were said to anoint brooms with hallucinogenic ointments made from plants like belladonna and mandrake, and then straddle them to absorb the substance through their skin, the flight was symbolic. It was a symbol of tripping balls. The broom became a vehicle of freedom that was threatening. And the cackling laugh? That came from fear of women gathering, plotting, and laughing without permission. Essentially, enjoying herself became a symbol of rebellion. And the cauldron? That was at every home's hearth, a tool of healing and nourishment. When witches were portrayed around bubbling cauldrons, it was a twisted image of something very real and very normal. Women using herbs and knowledge and recipes passed down through generations. It wasn't about evil. It was just feared that women knew about the natural world. It was considered pagan to have any type of ritual passed down from older generations that wasn't sanctioned by the church. Green skin didn't enter the lore until The Wizard of Oz, when the film needed visual drama. However, after seeing this iconic image in The Wizard of Oz, it stuck in the zeitgeist. But real witches were never described that way in older lore. This version of the witch, ugly, evil, and envious, was shaped by centuries of propaganda, patriarchy, and puritanical fear. The ugly witch is a mirror of cultural anxiety. What happens when a woman is self sufficient and not compliant or domestic or quiet? Today, witches are rewriting the image. The idea that they aren't scary, that they can be kind, that they can be helpful. The idea of claiming freedom, magic, and identity. The idea of natural medicine and tapping in to the lessons of our ancestors and indigenous past. The stereotype isn't dead, but it is becoming kitschier and it is starting to be deconstructed. From villain to a kind and healing archetype, from threat to healer, from hag to princess and priestess. The witch is whoever she wants to be. Really, this is a story about indigenous culture from all around the world being demonized as evil. The idea that studying natural healing remedies, that being connected with earth, that enjoying yourself, being self sufficient, and intoxication being associated with evil. These are puritanical and church morality that isn't necessarily true by any means. What if these symbols is just a demonization of women listening to their intuition and being in touch with nature? Follow my podcast for deeper dives into all things esoteric.